Hello and welcome. This is Elianore's Sleeping Stories channel, a channel for you to relax and unwind and enjoy a couple of hours of relaxing fairy tales and calm music before you go to sleep. This channel is designed so that you can unwind after a long day, relax, listen to fantasy stories, and fall asleep easily. Today, we're gonna be doing something special. We're gonna improvise a story as we go along, and please feel free to leave comments underneath the video with story suggestions, ideas that we can explore together. Now, think back of a quaint cottage that you might have read about in a fairy tale or that you have seen in a picture or in a book, and think about a very cute grandmother sitting there by the fire and telling you a lovely story, and you're snoozing away close to the fireside. A long time ago, there lived a man and a woman. They had a house by the sea, and they lived happily as they were in love. However, they never had children. The woman grew older and older, and the couple feared that they would never get any children. One night, the woman, in great despair and with high sadness, went to the ocean. It was her beloved place to be by the rocks close to the sea, seeing the waves turn into foam close to the shore. She used to collect beautiful shells and stones and sell them on the market as decorations. That was her craft, and everybody would say she had a magical touch that would transfer all the treasures of the sea into something special. So as a last attempt, she bade the sea. "O sea, O you vast ocean, you who bring us everything we need to survive day and day, you give us treasures that we can trade for food and pay for the shelter. I would like you to grant one wish. I wish we'd have a child." And she wept the whole night through. And as the sun was coming up, suddenly she saw that from the waves a little cradle would appear. A child born from the ocean, born from the foam, was granted to her. And she knew that this is the ocean's child. And a huge voice boomed in her head, saying, "This is a child I give you, woman, as you've been loyal to me for so many years. You've treasured me and you've loved me so deeply. However, this child cannot fall in love. It's made from the sea's foam, and if it falls in love, it will have to go back to the sea." The woman took the child. She was truly happy. She went to her husband and told her what had happened. Both of them lived so happy with their new daughter, which they called Aurora, since she found her at a sunrise. Years went by, and Aurora grew into a beautiful girl with long silver hair that would shine and shimmer in the sunlight as if it was full of glitter, with beautiful skin and deep blue eyes as blue as the sea, and red lips She would bring so much joy to her adopted parents. She would help them in the household. She would run by the seashores, and each day the sea was calling to her. She would bathe in the sea and enjoy every minute of being close to it. However, knowing the restrictions, her parents were very careful that she shouldn't meet anybody. They wouldn't allow her to the marketplace. They wouldn't allow her to go further out from the village where they lived. And they would hide her from the other people so that she wouldn't tempt anybody, any young man, to fall in love with her, and then she might return the love to the young man. As the girl grew up, she became curious. She loved the sea, and it seemed like she didn't need anything more. However, she was curious where her mother went every day, what the market looked like, how the other people were. However, her mother would always find an excuse for her daughter not to go and would send her to play by the seashore. One day, Aurora saw something in the sea. It was a boat that was stranded, and there seemed to be somebody inside the boat. She called her father, and her father, being a kind-hearted man, took his boat and went to the sea and helped the stranded one. It turned out to be that there was a young man in the boat, a young man who probably suffered a shipwreck and was a survivor. The old man took him into his house and healed his wounds, trying to keep Aurora away from the sailor's room. Weeks went by and the sailor recovered. He was grateful to his rescuers, and he wanted to repay them. But the older man showed him a way, saying, "There's nothing to repay. The best thing you could do is just to go your way." And the sailor took his bag and was about to leave, but he glanced into the window and saw Aurora in the garden. She was watering the flowers, and her beautiful hair, shimmering in the sunlight, was magical. Her blue eyes, her beauty captured him completely. He asked the old man, "Who is this woman?" But the old man said, "It's my daughter, but she is betrothed, so you shouldn't look at her." The sailor went away, but he couldn't stop thinking about Aurora. He thought of her day and night, and even though the old man forbade him to come back, one night he sneaked close to the cottage, and he saw Aurora walking by the seashore. He came to her and introduced himself, saying that he is the sailor that her father saved. But actually he's not a sailor, he's a nobleman who's been stranded, and his crew betrayed him. He's going back home to his faraway land, but if she is willing to wait for him, he would come back and take her as his wife. He knew that the father told him she was betrothed, but he hoped that she would still like him more and choose him. Aurora had never seen any human of her age before, was captured by the young man. She was captured by his gallantry. She was captured by his voice and his static character. And she fell in love and promised the young man to wait for him. He rode off, and her heart started longing for the young man. Day in and out, she grew sadder and sadder, and when her parents would ask her what the matter is, She wouldn't say anything. She was quiet because she had a secret and didn't want to share it with her parents. And it felt to them as if she were to fade. And one evening, she was walking by the shore, and the sea was calling to her even stronger than ever. Her mother, in dismay, ran out, calling for Aurora. "Aurora, where are you going?" And she turned around and said, "Mom, I fell in love, and now the sea is calling me back, and I have to return." And in that moment, she became a sea, a wave that would get into the sea foam and disappeared. The woman and the man cried bitterly over their lost daughter, but they knew that she would be part of the ocean still, and they would come back day in and day out to the ocean to reconnect with their daughter. The woman would bait the ocean to give them back to her, but it never happened. As months went by, the young sailor, who was the nobleman, came back on a grand horse and in beautiful clothes to the sea, and saw the parents of Aurora, much older than he had expected them to see, grieving and crying by the sea. He asked them, "Where is your daughter? I came to take her as my wife." Too late, too late. The forbidden love that she had experienced turned her back into the ocean, so none of us would ever see her again. The young man was really grieved. He couldn't believe that he had lost somebody who he just found. And with sadness, he turned around and went back to his land. you.